Hut! We are 3 in the Box Sports Podcast, and this is the weekly Huddle-up. We have a lot of NFL news scores, and we will recap all that was Week 6. All that and more coming up. Welcome in. This is the weekly Huddle Up, and we are 3 in the box. As always, I'm your number 1 box, Frost. That's our number 2 box, Big Keith. And as you can see, we are short a box.
Short a box.
Amongst other, other important stuff going on. But the show must go on.
Correct. Jordan's, I don't know if he wants to be in public right now. The Cowboys got shellacked.
Oh, you think that's what it is? Okay. Well, regardless, the show must go on. Like always, we like to just jump right into it. But first, we have to give a shout out to our official, unofficial sponsors.
Bud Light.
That's right. Instead of Jordan doing the scores, I'm going to jump in and do my best to take over. Give you the lowdown on what was Week 6. There was no Thursday night game due to COVID scheduling. So we'll jump right into the Sunday. We've got the Texans and Titans. What a game.
Good game.
What a game. The Titans are just
right there.
The Titans are just doing everything right. Yes, the Texans are 1-5 after Sunday. But the Titans, the Titans win to continue to go 5-0, 42-36 in overtime over the Texans. Derrick Henry balling out.
Don't insult the king.
I feel bad. He's on my fantasy team too. Derrick Henry balling out. That 94-yard touchdown run. Did you see that?
And he's a big guy. He's got good hands out the backfield.
Unbelievable. It was an unbelievable run. Not only that, you go into overtime.
Josh Norman's funeral took place, so that was already, that got put on.
You go into overtime, and, you beat the Texans, continue to go undefeated. Mike Vrabel got to be up for head coach of the year. Ryan Tannehill is playing phenomenal. It was just they're going to sneak into my –
not the full awards if they keep at this rate.
They're going to sneak into my top 5 power rankings. Just a foreshadow. We'll go on to the next game. Ravens and Eagles. Eagles were getting shellapped, and they made it a little interesting, made it a little close, and ended up losing to the Ravens 30-28. Ravens moved to 5-1. Eagles devastated with injuries, as amongst all the other teams. Zach Ertz out. Would he tweak his ankle, Keith?
Yeah, I think he rolled it or something like that, so he's going to be out for a little while. But kind of what you said, tweaking into the power rankings a little bit, I'm a little concerned with Baltimore.
Okay.
Their defense is not holding up great. You let the Eagles almost come back and beat. If it wasn't for that missed block by the tight end at the goal line, Carson Wentz would have ran in and the Eagles win that game.
I know.
And that team is the definition of one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's Lamar Jackson, and that's it.
Yep.
That is it.
I'd agree with that.
If they really need to get their running backs involved, or like I said, they're going to be another team. Again, they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to get bounced out of the wild card or first round.
Yep.
That's going to be Baltimore.
Well, we're on a time crunch. Let's move on to the next game. Browns and Steelers. The Browns. Yikes. The Steelers are proving that they are no joke. Bar injury, if they can stay healthy, they are definitely going to make the playoffs and could make a good run towards the Super Bowl.
Biggest injury news of the week came out of that game. Devin Bush tore his ACL.
Yeah, that does hurt that Steelers defense.
That is going to hurt. I'm assuming they're going to probably make a deal. I mean, I'm reading rumblings of them contacting the Jets to get Avery Williamson.
I'm sure the Jets could trade in everybody else.
We don't talk about We don't have enough time in the week.
Yeah, I got you.
But no,
The score of that game. The score of that game was Steelers 38, Browns 7, and
Baker Mayfield came back to earth heavily, and the Browns. Your fans are coming out of the woodwork. You're still the same Browns. It's like your little brother that acts up and thinks he's hot shit, and your big brother comes in and beats the shit out of him.
that's good.
That's
That's
basically
good.
what happened. The
That's
Steelers
good.
were like, hold on, you're still Cleveland. Let me remind you.
Yeah,
And the biggest thing I took away is Baker Mayfield's got some problems. If he can't distinguish a cover 1 to a cover 2, you're going to have issues.
basic quarterback reads just can't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's the injuries are making him concerned, but the problem is he is not a pocket passer at all. He can't pass in the pocket. But like I said, I don't want to hold up too much on that game, but that showed a lot of Cleveland's glaring weaknesses.
Not only that, you look at the history between Stefanski and Case Keenum. Baker Mayfield keep messing up. Case Keenum going to take over that job, and they're going to shop Baker.
We'll hit on it a little bit later in the show, but a little quarterback change might make somebody available. So
Okay, I see. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving. Broncos shocked the Patriots. Both teams are 2-3. The Broncos beat the Patriots 18-12. What was that, in Foxborough?
Yeah, like we all picked the Patriots to win. My only thing is you're starting to now see it that the Patriots are just a below average team.
Yeah.
If you didn't have Cam Newton, that game would have been really bad. But it's Cam and nobody else.
Yep.
That offense is not good at all. And the defense, you have guys that sat out, you got guys that are banged up, and I guess you can say, yeah, they held Denver pretty low, but I mean, is that really saying anything that you held the Broncos to a low-scoring game? But my concern, I'm not even a concern, but the Patriots are like the third best team in that division.
We'll get into how the Bucs are doing with Tom Brady, but I just love to see those people that were like, "Oh, Belichick, Tom Brady ain't crap without Belichick. Tom Brady or Belichick doesn't need Tom Brady." It's like
Tom Brady.
We'll see how the season continues to play out, but this is
Tom Brady was one of the best teams he's ever played on. I mean, you can put roster to roster. Yeah. That Bucs team is pretty damn good.
Okay, we'll get into that, Keith. Hold on. All right, let's move on to the Falcons. Shocked the Vikings. I would say shocked just because the Falcons have just played dismal, terrible. And they both have a record of 1-5 now. But the Falcons beat the Vikings 40-23.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons, the problem was it was their defense.
Oh, hold on. Let's bring in the fact that Raheem Morris took over that interim head coach job as they finally fired Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn's a great guy. He's going to get a job as a defensive coordinator somewhere, which I think
maybe the Cowboys. Cowboys defense sucks.
There's sucking, and then there's the Cowboys. But
okay.
The thing with the Falcons is they needed to get Julio back. It opens everything back up for them. If the Falcons get momentum, when you really look at it, they're not out of the game yet. With the playoffs expanding,
it's a tough division. They're in a tough division,
but with the extra teams going into the playoffs, I mean, I'm wishful thinking there for them, but it's not like they're an awful team. That offense can carry them far.
Yeah, that was one of the most.
If anything, that game showed everybody. Don't be surprised if Mike Zimmer does not finish the year as the head coach of the Vikings. And Kirk Cousins is the most overpaid player in sports. That contract does not warrant the play that he has given you the past few years. I'm sorry. He's the highest paid player in the league per year. That is fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Well, that is ridiculous, and I agree, but we got to keep it moving. Keith. We got a schedule to keep it to. Colts, Bengals. Colts 31, Bengals 27. Colts, man, 4-2. 4-2. There's surprising people. Their offense is a little but that defense, Colts defense is playing.
The problem is people jumped on them heavy. The issue was Uncle Phil was playing pretty bad there, and the defense was on the field every 2 seconds in bad field position. So they were getting scored on. if the defense can play sound like they've been doing and the offense plays consistently,
Yep.
the Colts are going to go back into a favorite. Not, I won't say a favorite, but they'll be a top in the AFC again.
Yeah. I mean, with the Texans in your division, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's not a strong division.
So we'll move on to the next game. Washington football team versus the Giants. Wow. Eesh. They made that game interesting, but it hurt to watch.
I'm taking that. Like, if you're the Giants, why are you winning games? Like, don't you want Trevor Lawrence?
Well, they got Danny Dimes. They got Danny Dimes.
Dimes, yeah, that's about all he's worth. Like,
Touche. I don't think the Giants would
I just
tank
want to
for a quarterback.
Yeah, we'll put it out there forever because, like I said, these are bad teams. The Giants are one game out of the division. Let that sink in. That's how bad the NFC
That division, the NFC East, has got to be the worst division in the history of the NFL.
I can't remember. Every division at least have one team that's competitive. I mean, you're going to have a 6-win team win that division.
It's just not right. It's just not right.
I mean, it's there's pathetic and then there's sad. Like,
those are terrible teams. Let's keep them moving, Keith. Let's keep them moving. Blood pressure rising. All right, Bears Panthers. The Bears beat the Panthers 23-16. Them Bears are 5-1.
And let me tell you, it's their defense. That Bears defense is top 3 in the NFL after this Sunday, and they show that they play Chicago Bears defense. That front four is nasty.
I mean, it ain't no Monsters of the Midway 85 Bears, but
no, but
yeah, they are definitely
getting his game back. Khalil Mack, the sacks aren't there, but Khalil Mack still commands minimum a double team.
It's just his presence. His presence.
Yeah,
it'll attract another blocker.
Fuller and Jackson in the back, they play fantastic. Their offense gets the job done, but if it wasn't for that defense, they're not 5-1.
Yeah.
But that's a team you got to worship. This year, I'm probably going to say the Super Bowl champion. It's going to be held on a defensive team. You're seeing really good defense.
What was that old adage? Defense wins championships. That's right. You know who has a good defense? The Bucs. Okay. Anyways, keep moving. Lions Jaguars. Lions Jaguars. Lions beat the Jaguars 34-16. The Jaguars, after that first win, are falling apart. They're falling apart. They're 1-5.
They're playing like the Jags everyone thought.
Yeah. You dump your talent. It's not going to produce. You got lucky with one win. You're not the Jets at 0-6, but
the Jags need to look at like Trey Lance. Gardner Minshew's playing good football.
Yeah,
it's another situation where you have good talent and he has nothing around him. James Robinson's playing good football as well, the running back. And the thing is, they have good receivers.
They have a decent receiving core. I don't like their defense.
Good was maybe a little bit over the top. The line is the tight ends are but yeah, it's their defense can't stop anything.
You get rid of Ramsey, of course. That was dumb.
I would say this: the Jags aren't as bad as people might see them to be. They have pieces to succeed if they start drafting well.
Yeah.
If they get back into drafting well and everything, you can see them compete in like 2-3 seasons. But Gardner Minshew is a good quarterback. I like
Minshew magic. I like the stash. I like it. We got to touch on it. We got to move on, Keith. The Dolphins versus the Jets. The Jets. Oh, Keith, come back. Come back, Keith. Don't take your life. The Jets moved to 0-6, and the Dolphins beat the brakes off of them 24-0, a shutout in the NFL. You don't see those very often, but you did on Sunday. And who other than the Jets to get shut out? They just love zeros across the board. 0 wins, 0 points.
During the week, I want to be putting stats out there for everybody because, like I said, this show isn't a week long. We don't do this for a 7-day episode. I can't talk enough about it. But again, in the world we all know, if you're employed and you suck at your job, you would get fired. This man is the exception. He has videos of Woody Johnson before he left to go overseas, banging a secretary or something that this man is employed. Like it's you want to laugh, but it's to the point where it's not even funny anymore. It's not. Like there's no player development at all. It's players are giving up. You have a 37-year-old running back that's your leading running back in the backfield. It's
You know who I like?
I,
You know who I like to fill that Adam Gase role? You got to dump Adam Gase, first and foremost. You know who I'd like at that head coaching job in New York for the football Jets? Eric Bieniemy from the Kansas City
I love
Chiefs.
that. I think Eric's going to probably end up going to Houston. And the
Mm.
only reason why I say that is because Deshaun Watson gives him a little bit of what Patrick Mahomes is.
Oh, good point.
But I like Brian DeBoll, the offensive coordinator. I like the coordinators from, I've drawn a blank on some of their names now. But with Tennessee and Buffalo. Buffalo's quarterback coach look what he's done with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
We had, oh my God, the Bucs defensive coordinator.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah, we had Todd Bowles, and we thought Adam Gase was a better choice, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. But
I'm really glad that you guys dumped Todd Bowles. I'm really
Todd
glad
Bowles
because that Buccaneers defense is phenomenal. That leads us into our next game. Buccaneers 38, Packers 10. The Bucs beat the brakes off the Packers.
And
Packers were one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. We held them to 10 points. You have to put some respect on their name.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying it was the Bucs the Bucs defense, the offense was along for the ride, or Aaron Rodgers had a bad game.
Hey, that's how you win games.
The Bucs defense made Aaron Rodgers have a bad game. Aaron Jones couldn't run the ball. Jamal Williams couldn't run the ball. Now I give you Devontae Adams practicing games. I'll give you that. But that Bucs defense, I mean, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And not
once Aaron Rodgers scored that touchdown run and did that little explicit dance, I don't even know what it was. It was vulgar.
Field dance.
It was aggressive, and there was things flopping around that we're not going to get into, parts.
It's only three
but it turned a switch. It turned a switch on the whole team, especially the defense. Jamil Dean, who I don't really even care for, made a pick six, and it was glorious. And it just flipped the switch. The offense got rolling, 38-10. Bucs beat the Packers.
And not only that, the Bucs made a deal with the Jets, and you got Steve McClendon, big nose tackle. Now Roaches played well, but he's undersized for nose tackle.
Yeah.
But just giving McClendon back in there gives you rotation back in the middle, and they made that deal before that game was even over. So I mean, they knew what they needed. If the Bucs defense continues to play like it is, I'm telling you right now that they are in the NFC Championship. Minimum.
I don't see how you can play defense like that and lose another game. Tom Brady is not going to be the one to Jameis Winston it and turn the ball over 80 times.
And the biggest thing, even though diehard Bucs fan, watch Bucs football down here, it's once they start getting guys back healthy, Mike Evans, you can clearly see is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Gronkowski, you can clearly see hurt. With Fournette being hurt, once you get those guys back healthy, that's a dangerous team overall. I mean, Godwin's been hurt a lot. He came back, obviously, and played, but you need him. He's not 100%.
Hey, how about Gronk finding the end zone for the first time this year?
See, now the chemistry is rolling again with him and Brady. I'm
telling you. Keith signed that fan waiver for a reason. But we can talk about the Bucs all day. We got to keep moving, Keith. We got to keep moving. Well, Sunday night game, Rams versus 49ers. The 49ers, I would say, surprised. Beat the Rams 24-16. I don't think the 49ers are doing much of anything, but they beat the Rams, who I thought were a decent team.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Rams right now.
No.
Outside of Aaron Donald, they're okay defense.
Yeah.
Their offense is okay.
Bunch of talent. It's so much money on that team. Jesus.
Now, I give props. Jimmy Garoppolo had a shit show of a game last week, and he came back and played well this week.
Yeah.
But for anyone out there, the 49ers are too depleted to continue this throughout the year. They just lost.
Going back to the Super Bowl. And they
Yeah,
ain't going back to the NFC Championship.
No, Morstead going back on IR. You have all your best defensive players are either banged up or out for the year. But I give it to them. They played a great game, and the Rams are an average team, I think, this year.
Yep. Uh, we'll see what happens, but I just think they're one of those middle of the road teams. 49ers depleted, so that'll be that. Yesterday, being Monday Night Football, we had a double header, a little schedule makeup. 5 o'clock game was nice to have football at 5
It is
o'clock
a
on
little
Monday.
early in the day on Monday.
Chiefs versus Bills in Buffalo, and I thought it was a rainy day. It was a rough weather day. I thought Josh Allen could have performed a little bit better, but the Chiefs ended up pulling out, beating the Bills 26-17, and Chiefs moved to 5-1 while the Bills dropped to 4-2. It just shows you that the Chiefs can beat you in so many ways.
They can. Buffalo's main problem right now is their defense. I mean, we've been saying it so much, but every team is getting hit with it. Injuries are hurting that team. That defense is not what it was week 1 or week 2.
I agree with you.
Now, offensively, I think Buffalo would do well with a bell cow running back. Like Singletary's he's a good kid, but they need that guy in the back.
They should have done everything to get Bell. They should have done everything to get Le'Veon Bell.
They were in the mix, but I don't count Buffalo out. Once they get it back together, him, Diggs, and you just got John Brown back, so you got to wait for him to get a little bit healthy again. But anyone out there, Buffalo will still be there. I like Buffalo, and they're going to win that division anyway.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to give them competition? Maybe the Dolphins? No, it ain't going to be the Jets. Sorry, Keith.
No, we're going to be talking about the Dolphins.
We'll keep it moving. The doubleheader to Monday Night Football was the Monday Night Football game there on ESPN. Cardinals versus Cowboys. The Cardinals slapped Cowboys 38-10. Cowboys can't do anything right. Zeke continues to fumble the ball. That Cardinals defense showed out. Buda Baker playing in that box. Blitzing, getting in the quarterback, just stuff in the box. That defense is surprising. Like it can win you some games.
Has always been pretty decent. It's, if anything, the Cowboys are on pace to have the worst defense in NFL history. They've given up over 218 points so far this season. They cannot stop anybody.
Yeah.
So if you're even considering like fantasy sport, anytime a team plays the Cowboys, play those offensive players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you're hearing reports and rumblings that players are making comments that the coaching staff is garbage.
It's gonna happen.
And I'm telling you that Jerry Jones, do not be surprised if Mike McCarthy does not finish the year.
It's so dumb. It is so dumb. You gotta fire that defensive coordinator.
That whole defensive staff. This defensive staff needs to be fired. Obviously, the coordinator will go first, but Jerry Jones, I think, got it for a rude awakening this year that your team isn't that good.
Yeah. It's amazing how much Dak Prescott did for that team to keep them in football games.
And having the high payroll doesn't mean jack anymore. Your offensive line is garbage outside of Zach Martin.
And they're falling apart with injuries. They're second and third string deep.
You're paying Leighton Vander Esch top-tier linebacker money, and he's never on the field.
He plays 2 weeks out of the year. Yeah.
It's Sean Lee 2.0. He doesn't play.
Yeah. And then you got that guy, what's his name? Xavier Woods, I think. Yeah,
Woods.
You gotta fire the coach. That is the mindset in that locker room. First and foremost, he put it on Twitter or in an interview. It's out there.
Live interview.
Where's he getting that idea from? The coaching staff. Like you. Man, it's frustrating, man. And I'm glad Jordan's not here because he probably shed a little tear. It's rough.
I'll try to defend them or somehow. But the Cowboys are leading into what I want to talk about with the news that Tua Tagovailoa was named the starting quarterback of the Dolphins.
Why?
I don't understand. I don't know if the Dolphins are just like, we're going to throw the year, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing fantastic football. you're winning games with them. So outside of what you want to talk about with the Dolphins with Tua, I think Tua's gonna be great. But if I'm Dallas, or if I'm Dallas and Cleveland, I would strongly consider calling the Dolphins and asking them what they would want from Ryan
It just doesn't
Fitzpatrick.
make any sense. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's a veteran in this league, and he's a journeyman. He's not your future, but what a great guy to learn behind.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting to pull the plug on him when he's playing well. I can understand.
Okay, Adam Schefter did an appreciation post. Through 6 games, Ryan Fitzpatrick has 1,535 pass yards to 12 total touchdowns, and not only that, the Dolphins are in the second place in the AFC East. Excuse me. I get it. You want to move on to Tua. Tua's going to be good in this league. I full-heartedly believe that. What did he play? 5 minutes yesterday? You think he's ready?
The only thing I can think of is before the season started, they told Fitzpatrick, listen, when he's able to play and he's healthy, we're playing him. So he might have been under that understanding anyway, is the only thing that makes sense to me. That he was like, I'm going to play until he's able to physically step on the field again. But I don't know if they expected him to be playing this well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
I give credit to Ryan's going to be a professional, as he always is. He's going to teach him everything he needs to know. And he's going to be there. If he gets traded, he gets traded. If he doesn't, he's going to show up to work every day.
The Dolphins are 3-3, and I don't think they'll win the division, but I can see them sneaking in a wild card position.
They could.
At least in the game.
Good.
At least a wild card.
Defense is good.
But what's that other news? John Ross?
John Ross, former first-round pick with the Bengals today, asked to be traded. This is his last year anyway on his contract. He wants a fresh start. He's not being used, and it's clear when you watch their games, he doesn't get playing time. I think he's under 30% of offensive snaps right now. But John Ross, he kind of had an okay year last year, which people got back on his hype train. I think, unfortunately, with him, he is clearly a return speedster. He doesn't run routes well, and he's undersized.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another team might find a way to utilize him better, but I think his time in Cincinnati is probably over.
It's like the Bears with Cordell Patterson. You'll find a way to use a guy like that if he can stay healthy. I can see him.
Running back.
I can see him going to. It sounds like a broken record, but I can see him going to the Patriots. Who else is Cam Newton gonna throw to?
Yeah, they need weapons.
Yeah. Well, let's move on quickly to our fantasy standouts real quick before we get into the power rankings. And, I'm going to look ahead to week 7. And I'm going to say if you haven't already, pick up Adam Humphries. I don't know if you've seen this. Ryan Tannehill is balling out. The Tennessee Titans are rolling. You need to hop on this train. Adam Humphries, I started him this past Sunday in my flex. 6 targets, 6 catches, 64 receiving yards, and a touchdown. That'll help you out. That'll get you a win. And now he's playing Pittsburgh. That could be an interesting game. But I still think Adam Humphries will get you just enough. Yeah. He's probably the best one of the better flex options that you could pick up for the waiver wire. What say you, Keith?
Yeah, actually, Adam Humphries was one of the guys I was gonna bring up. But no, the Titans spread the ball, and that's strictly off the play action. Adam Humphries works the middle. A.J. Brown's got the outside, and it's that.
And they have to respect the running game, so that play action's pimping.
So I'm gonna move to my second guy. It's gonna be over at Philadelphia. Travis Fulgham. He is balling out of his mind. I mean, there's coming out of nowhere, and then there's what Fulgham is doing. Last 3 weeks, first game he had 2 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. The week after that against Pittsburgh, he had 10 catches for 152 and a touchdown. And then last week against Baltimore, he had 6 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. Now, a lot of people are saying once their other guys come back, like Rager and Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, I'm telling you, Fulgham is earning his snaps over them. I can't see why you would cut him back to give Alshon Jeffrey playing time.
Yeah, he's
Alshon
producing.
Jeffrey, even Deshaun Jackson. Now Rager, I understand he's your top rookie. You want to play him, but Fulgham is. I'm telling you, you might see some of his looks maybe go down, but with Ertz being out, I'm telling you, Fulgham is not. He's going to continue on this train. Like he is Wentz's number one target right now.
Right.
So I definitely think, and he's available in a lot of free agency pool. I know he kind of got hot a little bit, but Chase Claypool got the attention too. But from my understanding, Fulgham is still available in almost 40% of free agencies.
There you go.
So if he's available in your league, just pick him up, put him as a flex. I mean, he's going to get you points, especially because those guys aren't back yet.
Yeah, you pick up that guy. You get to see him this Thursday night, as the Eagles play the Giants on Fox. That'll be our fantasy standouts. We'll help you out maybe from the waiver wire. But let's jump into our power rankings here. I'm gonna jump in real quickly to my top 5. It's been shuffled around a little bit, and as a Bucs fan, the Bucs are knocking at the door of my Power 5 list. Just saying. But they didn't make it. They didn't make it. Not just yet. I moved the Seahawks to the number 1 spot. Steelers at 2. Titans at 3. They're creeping up that list real quick. And I put the Chiefs at 4 just because, they're still finding ways to win. I'm not completely sold on them, but they did win the Super Bowl last year, and they've gotten better statistically and on paper. And then I went back and forth with my top 5, that number 5 spot, and I ended up picking the Ravens just because they keep winning games, but I don't see them staying there at that 5 spot. Next week, I might put the Bucs at 5. But I got the Seahawks, Steelers, Titans, Ravens, and Chiefs. What you got, Keith?
I got a little bit similar to you. Mine's taken a big change. If anyone's, remember my number 1, I still have the Seahawks at 1. I think that Russell Wilson just makes them the number 1 team. But
Their defense worries me.
They're struggling, but if they figure it out, that team is.
Yeah.
But I got the Seahawks still at 1. At 2, I do have the Steelers at 2 now. I just think the Steelers overall as a team, they are fantastic. Their defense is lights out, and Big Ben is playing good offense. Chase Claypool has come out of nowhere and just balling out. So their offense is playing great. Obviously, losing Bush is concerning a little bit, depending, but I think they're going to be fine anyway. They're going to get pressure. At 3, I do have the Chiefs. Unfortunately, I'm not the biggest fan of them either. I think when you really watch them play, the Chiefs are a beatable team. It's just the thing is you got to do like the Raiders formula was. If you can contain Mahomes, the Chiefs are a beatable team. Their defense is not top 5 in my opinion in the league, so they're beatable. At 4, I do have the Titans at 4 now. They've taken the jump. You have to put respect on the Titans. That's a fantastic football team, and they're coached well. And Derrick Henry makes them a legitimate threat week in and week out. So I definitely and Ryan Tannehill. Don't be surprised. He's going to finish the year in MVP talks. You have to put him there. And then at number 5, I do have Tampa Bay. I took Baltimore out. After watching the Baltimore and Eagles game, I'm telling you, the Ravens got exposed. Even though they won, it's the Lamar Jackson show, and that is it. Their defense, their secondary is not playing well. Their front seven is not doing well either. I mean, it's the that's the thing. A lot of teams have this on hype. Oh, it's Lamar Jackson. You're going to run into the same thing. They're going to go to the playoffs and they're going to get bounced because they can't do anything else. It's if you stop Lamar Jackson from running the football, you're going to beat the Ravens because he's not a pocket passer, clearly. So I mean, I have the Ravens still at 6, but I think Tampa Bay as a whole, I'm going to give them the props where it's due. That is a good football team. That defense, that statistically right now, the Bucs are the number 1 defense in the NFL.
I believe it.
There's a reason for it.
I've been saying it. I've been alluding to it, man. I've been alluding to it. It's all about health. I feel like if they can stay healthy, that's the case with the Steelers too. Teams like that, oh my goodness! Like, I'm not gonna get too crazy here, Big time Bucs fan.
Yeah,
I don't want to turn this into a Bucs talk show. Hey, there's an idea. That would be cool.
Tampa.
I see Keith rapping the Lightning, Stanley Cup champs.
Champs.
And not only that,
Raiders tonight.
you could see a title town in Tampa. I don't know about the Rays playing the Dodgers, but that's another sport. That's another day. And, we did our pick'ems.
Yeah, we're going to be posting that tonight, who won that. And then we're going to actually start something a little bit different, kind of like what they do in college. We have a lot of people reaching out to us that want to do pick'ems with us, which kind of caught us off guard. So we're going to kind of pick one random person, and then we're going to do, like I said, special guests, just like you see College Game Day. They'll do the pick'ems with us, and then we'll see what happens each week in and week out, But tonight, like I said, we're going to put who had the best out of the bunch from us tonight, and then we'll continue it. But then we'll also be announcing who's going to be doing that with us. I think one of our good friends, Danny, is going to probably be week 1, at least week 1 with us for week 7 of the season. But we'll get those picks in, and then we'll do that for the week, because we do got a lot of people that do like to gamble that we know, especially in sports. So
yeah,
having
Danny
those,
Cobb's in our fantasy league, and that's for money. So
yeah, and not small money either. We don't do none of that.
That's that big pot. That's gonna do it for us during the Box Sports Podcast with the weekly Huddle Up. That was Week 6 recap, and we're looking forward to Week 7 as it starts Thursday, October 22nd. It's the Giants and the Eagles on Fox at 8:20 p.m. But that's going to do it for us. Minus the box. We're down a box, and we're 2 in a box. Missing Jordan. Hopefully the Cowboys fan will be back soon. Hopefully he's okay.
Cowboys,
but
they dropped out like the Cowboys.
I'm your number 1 box, Frost. That's your number 2 box, Big Keith. And that we have 3 in the box. And we'll see you next week.